for boys, especially boys, because of how we're wired. They will get to an age, normally between 11 and 13, where they feel like they can no longer identify with their mom.
Well, yep, yep.
So
yep.
now testosterone kicks in,
Yep.
that alpha kicks
Yep.
in, and they're like, I'm big enough now to try you, mom. If ain't nobody in the house crazier than them, they're going to take the house over.
Chip on my shoulder. I got something to prove, like a gun in a holster. Loaded, ready to shoot. Got big energy. Ain't scared to dream. Got big energy. Got big energy.
You know this a different energy, right?
So why do you run for city council?
The truth. So last year, around the summertime, some people in my neighborhood reached out to me and asked me would I run. And initially I said no. I was too busy. Talked with my wife and my family. I prayed about it. And some people had spoken some things to me in the past. The more I prayed about it, the more my mind began to turn. And they reached out again. I said no again. And the third time, after seeking wise counsel, I'm big on making sure I got mentors in my life, because I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I got people who I respect that's gone farther than me in life. I call them and talk to them. And one of the things that I ask myself, and I'm gonna be real and just be honest, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just, being honest from my point of view. I said, can I do more? Yeah, my church is doing a lot of stuff and we're always in the community, but can I do more? And the answer is yes, right? That was my first question. My second question was, the generation that came before us, they fought for something. We are benefiting
Off what they fought.
off of what they fought for. They sowed the seed. We're reaping the harvest of what they fought for us. But we didn't pass it on. So for them, it was family and then community and then the bag. Our generation, forget family, forget community. It's all about the bag.
Yeah.
So if you go back and look at our generation, we don't really have a cause other than going to get the bag. We're not fighting for anything to make it better for the next generation. And so you said something earlier, and that was kind of my take. It was, you can sit back and complain, which we do very well.
Do very well, man.
Or when you hang up your cleats or put the basketball up, have I done my part, right? And so when I started campaigning, I started meeting some people, and the situation was kind of rough. Living conditions were bad. Remember what I said earlier? Let me go back to how I grew up.
How you grew up, yep.
You don't forget, right? And so somebody has to be at the table. And sometimes you got to be a voice for the people that don't have a voice. And you got to be the bridge or the liaison to stand in the gap and help get people what they need. So I realized that part of my assignment in life is to be a bridge. I was born, I'm 48, so I was born right at the end of the old and right at the beginning of the new. So I'm bridging both worlds, right? And so my reason for running was I realized that I could do more. And if I had the opportunity, not because of a personal goal, this wasn't on my bucket list, right? But the goal was, can I get some of these seniors that's reaching out to me and some of these kids, and I got family over on the other side of my ward, can I give them some help?
Let me tell you, man, it's funny you say that, and we get to the next question, but I just want to say, while you're on that topic, I'm to that point in my life now, too, what can I do? You know, working in law enforcement.
Yep.
Just with these young men, man, it's crazy. Man, these women now, I feel sorry for y'all. These young girls, man, with some of these men now, I swear I feel sorry for y'all. I done had, just working on interstate, I done deal with young men that can't change a tire. One time, it was a young pregnant lady. She was broke down in the middle. Y'all familiar with Orangeburg, right? So you know where the McDonald's and the mall is at. She broke down in the middle of that street right there. Traffic is heavy. I went there to help her out, pregnant. I said, man, I can't help you push it because I got to use my lights so nobody won't be able to hit you. She said, okay, well, I'll get out and push. I look in the back seat. Yeah. See a young man in the back on his phone. I said, ho, 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 ho. I said, hey, bro, get out. Yeah. You push. Yeah. But it's just bad. So it was weighing on me like a couple of years. I talked to my buddy, you know, Quentin. Yeah. We was talking and starting up a mentoring program for young men between the ages of 14 to 18. And I mean fatherless. No father. If the father's in your life, I don't need you in the program. I need kids that don't have a father in their life.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
It's called Helen's Angels. I named it after my grandmother because she was big in the community back in Manning when she was alive. You know?
Was.
So I named it Helen's Angels. Yeah. And we're going to start sometime next year. And I really want to get that started because I want to teach these young men just the basic things in life, man. Open up a door for your woman. Yeah. Learn how to change a tire. Learn how to tie a tie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just something basic.
This episode is sponsored by Goings Law Firm. If you or your family member needs a real deal lawyer who knows how to fight hard in court, call Robert Goings and his team at the Goings Law Firm. They handle car wrecks, trucking accidents, workers' comp, and serious injury or death cases. If you want the best, you got to hire the best. Robert Goings and his law firm team know how to win and get you the money you deserve. Goings Law Firm is located at 1510 Calhoun Street, Columbia, South Carolina. Again, 1510 Calhoun Street, Columbia, South Carolina. Train So Hard University, where it's just not a movement, it's a lifestyle. You can contact myself, Excalibur Miller, on Facebook, or my Instagram, The Miller Experience, or you contact my brother, T. Miller, on Facebook, or on Instagram, Prodigal Son 36. If you're interested in being a sponsor for Shop Talk or The Miller Experience, you can contact myself, Ernest Miller, at 803-565-9752, or you can hit me up on my email at eaenestmiller83@gmail.com. You can also make contact with my producer, Victor Wesley of Vic West Production. His telephone number is 803-225-0021. Also, his email address is vicwestp@gmail.com.
Daddy's not teaching.
Man, it's real.
Yeah.
Let me say something, and, you know, that's a whole topic all by itself. Yeah. Right? I don't even know how much you know, but, you know, I study stats. So 7 to 8 out of every 10 African American children in America, 70 to 80%, are in single parent homes, almost to the point where one parent is completely gone out of that child's life, right? So here's the thought. I'm talking to you, Fred, and Vic, think about it this way. If I'm raising kids, most of the time they're raised by their mothers, most of the time, right? How can I be something I ain't never seen? How can I become something and I don't know what that looks like, right? You had your father. I remember your dad, a man's man. Your grandmother and your grandfather were successful people in the community. You know what I'm saying? They owned daycares and property and all this other stuff, you know, in our town. And Victor's dad, and, you know, he had access to see a man be a real man in the house, right? But what happens when my developmental years, no man is there consistently, right? And now that child, because I can't become what I've never seen. And if I've never seen it, how do I become it, or how do I even tap into it? Most of the time what we're dealing with is kids that really have no identity, right? So when we come into right now, it's not even about just my kids. It's about one of the things that I studied said if a child gets in school an hour and 30 minutes a month with a mentor, their grades almost jumps 2 levels just from attention, right? So it goes back to what we said earlier. It goes back to community. It goes back to back in the day when we grew up, and I'm not trying to sound old school, but I'm being real. Everybody was your parent.
Yes. Yes.
Anybody in the neighborhood, if you was doing something wrong and your next door neighbor saw you and your parents didn't see you, they could check you without getting
How they
cursed
get
out.
cussed out.
Can I? I'm glad you said that because seriously, I come from what you explained without having the father or a constant man in the house. So you telling the truth because you still had people in the neighborhood or you had an uncle or somebody that would
That grabbed you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I agree. I
And
100% agree to that.
And it has to be somebody, and I'm going to be honest with you, for boys, especially boys, because of how we're wired, they will get to an age, normally between 11 and 13, where they feel like they can no longer identify with their mom.
Well, yep.
So now testosterone kicks in,
Yep.
that alpha kicks in, and they're like, I'm big enough now to try you, Mom. If ain't nobody in the house crazier than them, they're going to take the house over. See, your uncles and granddaddy, they're going to knock you down. So you knew that if she called them, it wasn't no talking, it was
There you go.
consequences and
There you
repercussions.
It's funny. I had a female friend. She had issues with her son, and she was telling me about how she's trying to raise him to be a man. I said, look, you can't raise him to be a man. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're not a man.
Yeah,
I said it's time for daddy to step in.
yeah.
So she was like, then his father is not the best. I said, well, check this out.
He better
Even
than
if he's not, I don't know him. I don't judge nobody because I don't know. I'm just going by what you tell
Yeah.
me. So let's say if he's not, it's true what you say. Then once your son's over there, he gonna realize how good he had it with mama.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Versus with daddy. But I said that's like me trying to say I'm trying to raise my daughter into a woman. I can't.
Yeah.
Only thing I can teach my daughter the game on things we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
On what men do. That's the only thing I can
Yeah.
teach my daughter. My wife the only one that can teach my daughter how to be a woman.
Exactly.
I can't do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
We used to go to my Aunt Diane's house. I'm quite sure y'all know Coach Kenny Benjamin.
Yeah.
That's one of my uncles. And every time we come to the door, you hit that front door and you a boy, the girls go by easy.
Yeah.
Poke your chest out.
Yeah.
Even there you go
Yep.
chest
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, but those are little lessons like
Yeah, man.
Respect.
Yeah.
It was somebody around here crazier than me that I know I can't get over. And it's a level of respect. And so I think community was big back then. And right now, I have 2 boys. And my oldest son is turning 14. My baby is 11. And it's certain things that they don't have to worry about because I'm present. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yep.
When a father is away from the house, whether you know it or not, those kids feel unsafe. They feel like anybody can break in here at any given time, and there's nobody to defend us. So out of fear, they become angry. Out of confusion, you get all this other stuff. Because now I'm at an age where I'm 13. My mama can't identify. I'm going through all this stuff, and I don't have a man to teach me how to navigate through it. So we start making mistakes early on, right? And we may come back around later on, but we lost so much time, because there's nobody to show me the pitfalls and teach me how to navigate. So you learn that. And so in a community, man, just for us right now, it's not even about if it's my child. If there's a child that I got access to, male or female, I think we owe it to them to give them all the game in the world to help them navigate, because it's going to make us better. And then as a cop, and you one of the good ones, you don't have to be putting cuffs on us all the time, because you got a voice that they will hear and get in line. There's young people now in the community and in my local church that they might bring them to my house or bring them to my office, not because I'm perfect. See, sometimes we think being a mentor, I got to be somebody with wealth and all kind of stuff. No, just be somebody where you can add value to somebody. If there's some good in you, share that.
That's right.
Make it better for
That's
somebody.
some
man.
common sense.
Yeah, you can be a janitor, you can be whatever, but if you're going to work every day, making an honest living, and you handle your responsibility, you ain't perfect. You might not be on the internet or whatever with 1,000 views, but you can add value to
You add
somebody.
value to somebody, exactly.
The goal is to help make somebody better.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, man.
You
It
know,
ain't about you. It's about, making
yeah,
an impact in
sharing
somebody
the
else.
good
Like,
you
that's it.
do,
Yep.
and the good part of you. We all got bad parts,
We all do.
including me. But can I share that to add value to you? That it's going to increase your life, and you're going to be better off because we connect.
There you go. True.
That's the goal.
To be continued. So make sure you check out the next episode. And also you make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube channel, The Mill Experience. And now we also on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. Make sure you download. Peace.
I can't be successful by sticking messages and rap or gods with me. Who told you being intelligent is whack? So place your bets. My faith is fresh. I'ma make it stretch. Cause I sat there eye to eye with the face of death. And you ain't putting work in unless you break a sweat. Bringing back a 4-course meal. Keep the tape